Hey y'all, happy Sunday. This is Elle, Thick Madame. I am currently at work, child. I here in the car, out here, defrosting, unthawing, because where I'm at, before when I go back in, I'm freezing. So I might be okay when I go back in because I'm going to change what I'm doing. So yeah. Anyway, I hope y'all having a wonderful day. It is hot, but like I said, I'm out here unthawing and stuff. Y'all, I'm mad because, like, look at me right now. I look like a mess, right? By the head. Not as bad as some days y'all have seen me, right? So last night I was like, well, let me do some Bantu knots. Y'all, when I took them out this morning, when I tell you it was everything. And the thing is, like, it always baffled me that so many women do not know how to do Bantu knots. And when they unravel the knots, it looks like trash. And they were like, oh, I can never do these. And I failed. Or I actually see people do extra stuff that shouldn't be done just to get Bantu knots. I've always been confused by that because I've seen people who braid them and then twist them around, or they twist them like two-strand twisted and then wrap it around into a Bantu knot. And I'm like, why? And I mean, it literally is to achieve the same thing that I always get when I do a Bantu knot. So next time I do one for real, even no matter what pattern I'm going for as far as a curl consistency is concerned, I hope I have enough time to record and or at least take pictures of it, because y'all, I wish I had been able to take pictures this morning, because I really was like, I cannot believe I'm about to go to work looking this good by the head. Like, I was like, yeah, yes, like, I'm for real, y'all. I was doing a lot today, and now it like I ain't did nothing but looking like a mess out here. So yeah, y'all. Anyway, I might actually do a little tutorial on that, because like I said, it always baffled me that there are so many people who fail at Bantu knots or braid outs or twist out, any of that stuff. Like a regular actual, if you actually are trying to achieve the type of pattern that happens with a twist out, I don't understand that. I don't really care about that. But I like braid outs and I love Bantu knots, and in general, because I used to do that in elementary school to my head, and junior high, early junior high to my hair. I did the top part. Most of the time it was half and half. The top part was done, and they were really, really big. Y'all used to do the most. Sometimes I would add weave to it, but because I knew what I was doing, it looked like it was coming from my scalp. It looked like it was my hair. Or sometimes I would just do it with my own hair, and it was still everything, and it was half up, half down, all that stuff. Like, yeah, y'all. So anyway, in Rant on that, I don't know, it just always, as far as Bantu knots are concerned, that's just something that always tripped me out, because a lot of women do not know how to do it the right way, and then they say I always fail, or they do extra stuff that's not needed, y'all. So anyway, let me see how much time I got left. I got like 15 minutes left, and I do still need to eat. I've done good today, y'all. So anyway, let's see. I watched Snowfall, and y'all, Snowfall is doing the most. And I don't remember if when I spoke about it before, I said that the way it's going to ultimately end is going to be one of two or three things. Franklin is going to end up in prison. Franklin is going to end up in the ground, deceased, or he going to, get out just in time, and he going to be able to go overseas somewhere, change his name, and live comfortably in the lap of luxury, because the most is going on right now. I was shocked when a lot of the stuff happened, because it's like the tables have turned. He's sitting up here. He didn't got on this plane, like it's a private jet. Him and Javi went to go and get him a bank account set up overseas somewhere, because he has so much money that he doesn't have anywhere to put it without any eyes being, placed on him and his family. So Javi was like, well, I got something I can do. I know what I can do. Javi tried to set him up and actually make it seem like he had these connections. But the problem was Javi's in his own bind. He was going to actually take money from Franklin. And then, according to him, he was going to take it. And before he even realized that any of the money was gone, he was going to put it back. He owed a lot of people and all this other stuff. And so Franklin was just... My thing was, as soon as he said that, I was like, how dumb are you? If it wasn't for you, Franklin would have never got into the drug game to be able to be anywhere near the level that he's on now, because he was just a poor black boy, man, whatever you want to say, because he was a boy, I think, when the thing first came on. I don't think he was of legal age yet. From, what is this? Is this LA? Somewhere like South Central or Watts or somewhere? Like, he ain't have it like that. So despite the fact that it is drug dealing, he wouldn't have even been able to do none of the stuff he's done had it not been for him and his situation happening early on. And he has been able to be very profitable from all this. A lot of people are benefiting from this, and it's amazing. And I mean, that's cool or whatever, but I'm just like, sir, I mean, I'm saying, as soon as he said that was what he was going to do, because first of all, he had Franklin going all around these, like, basically doing nothing. And he looking like, okay, so what time we going to the bank, though? And he was like, well, I'm setting up this. Like, he kept giving him every excuse in the book. And it's like, it don't take all this to go to nobody's bank. Now, my thing is this. I would have understood if he would have been like, oh, well, the first day we get there, I got a party set up, so you can enjoy being over here, because I know you ain't ever been over here before. And I mean, that wouldn't have been a read, because that's just a fact. I know you haven't been to this country or this whatever before, so we gonna party, we gonna have these ladies. And as you see, he don't really be dealing with nobody. He wants that officer's daughter, but, you know, and she kind of want him too, but, you know, she's trying to stay on the straight and narrow. She's trying to go to, Spelman or somewhere, and ain't nobody got time for you to mess up the college opportunities. And her daddy is on his trail anyway, so that's another thing on top of that. So he could have went out there, had a little fun, whether it was just partying up and drinking, hopefully no drugs, even though he is in the drug game, but you know how that goes sometimes, and got him some women, whatever he is his guilty pleasure, do that. And then in the morning, as soon as the bank opened up, go and set up your little Swiss account or whatever it is and all that. But he sat up there when he was in the States and tried to make it seem like, well, it doesn't matter what time it is. The banks are always going to be open for basically people who got all this money like he has. But y'all, I was so tired in my spirit, and I need to know who got shot, if anybody, at the end of it, because, oh boy, I don't know what his name is. He's the, is it Spanish speaking man who, he had some connections, and I don't know if he shot the ex-agent or if he shot the old lady. I don't know what's going on with that. It's funny because Franklin's friend, the guy who almost got killed, had that girlfriend, and y'all know she went over to the other side, which was one of the little arch nemesis, so to speak. One of the people that's the competition. She just sat up there and went over there to them and told them what the formula was. So they over there cooking up stuff, and at the same time they're supposed to be buying stuff from him. Well, them, Franklin and his crew. And she kept doing the most. She doing stuff out in public. She's doing very explicitly sexual acts out in, you know, the vicinity that their business is being conducted, and Franklin's friend sees it, who is the ex, and it's just a lot, and she just feel like she has the upper hand. But then his aunt, Louie, she done set it all the way off, and she came back in there because he had set it off earlier that day or the day previous. He was like, "Nah, we ain't selling to y'all," and of course he got mad and let his emotions get involved. But at the same time, you could tell that this is a scheme that has been cooked up. You ain't gonna sit up here be fraternizing with the enemy and think you finna do and get some business from us. Lies. So anyway, Louis and D-Ray's character, I don't forgot what his name is. I might not have ever really known it like that. I don't remember if it's Junior or what. But anyway, they both went over there to conduct the business that the friend was supposed to handle. Leon was supposed to handle, and he tied in his spirit, and she was over there trying to taunt them and all this other stuff. And so she said some slick stuff about Claudette, I think is what her name is, the woman who got killed, who overdosed, who she, used to dip and dab with outside of her husband or whatever that man is supposed to be, when they had their moments and they both would get high together and all that. So she was like, I heard about Claudette or Claudine or whatever her name is. Like, she was trying to taunt her. So then she tried to let it go and she walked away. She was like, no, hold on a minute, I'll be back. She went back on the inside and was like, you need to cut all ties with her and be all the way done with her, kick her out and everything, and then we'll be square. I was like, ma'am, you done went off. And I mean, within 0.2 seconds, they was kicking her out. And she was like, I ain't got nowhere to go. Oh, boy, they set up that choking her out. It was the most. But anyway, y'all, I'll come back a little bit later on because I still need to throw this little banana in this little healthy protein wafer thing down my throat so I can get back in here so I can participate in working for a couple of more hours and get through the day. Anyway, I hope y'all have a good one, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Hey y'all, this is going to basically be 2 different parts. Of course, you will know that once you see it on my page, on my yeah. So anyway, y'all, last night I saw Claws and I was exhausted throughout the whole episode. The most was going on, y'all. I was so tired in my spirit. I was like, somebody please help me. So spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen it, go ahead and click off this part now because I'm going to be talking about certain things that actually happened within the episode. So yeah, I wouldn't want to spoil you. So yeah. Oh gosh, y'all. As we already know, Arlene got killed last time. So I'm thinking, oh, the worst is basically over. No, the worst is not over. So since the guy was a part of the triad, he was like, y'all need to come up with, what he said, $3 million? Like within 24 hours or something like that. Like a large sum of money out of nowhere within 24 hours. Or he go start killing folks. And that would include Desna, anybody she loves, and Mac, Melba, whatever. Because he was in the room talking to Mac and Melba, of course, after Arlene was killed. Y'all, after he disappeared and went on by his business, they were talking, and so Desna was like, look, I know what we could do. I know a surefire thing we can do, and that was basically rob this racist dude, and I can't, it's just too much. Anyway, they got to the part, y'all, Roller Uncle Daddy and Melba went up to this man's house and acted as if they were neighborhood watch in order to bait him, and they ended up doing like most Southern people, stereotypically you've seen or have heard of or whatever. Went outside on the porch, after he was finessed into thinking that a black person or black people had been breaking into cars or doing some kind of thievery throughout their, neighborhood, which, of course, they are not a part of his actual neighborhood. So I'm just like, bro, you so stupid. Anyway, he done set up here and he done had tea and all this stuff. Sweet tea brought outside, so they're having random conversations, which we all know that they are not here for the racist crap, but they're trying to make him believe that they all are on the same team and believe the same thing. And I'm just like, ugh. Anyway, y'all, so Desna, Jen, Roller's brother, y'all know why I can't think of his name, Jen's husband, and Dean's ex-girlfriend, they all go in the house and they start going through the house and they see all kinds of things that really are of a value. And then the jackpot, of course, is when they went to the room that contains bars of gold just sitting there on display in a literal glass. And it's just like, bro, you doing the most. So they looking like jackpot, and this was Desna and Jen. They done went up in there. The maid then walked in and was like, yeah, what you not finna do is steal nothing up out of here. Had a gun, a shotgun trained on them. Y'all, if Dean's ex-girlfriend had came from out of wherever she came from, out of nowhere, and hit that woman over the head, they probably would have got shot. So anyway, they ended up tying her up because they figured she was gonna come to, and like, she lives and dies for this man. And I mean, I'm just like, girl, there's too many valuables up in this house for you to just be living up in here and to be as old as you are. And I don't know. Some people are you know, they believe in whatever. So, you know, ain't nothing wrong with integrity. I'm just saying. Y'all, so they stealing stuff and they trying to come out, and they are, you know, kind of actually on their way out. And old dude, he called for the woman to bring some more tea out. And he was like, you know what, hold on, wait a minute. So they all hop up, Roller, Uncle Daddy, and Melba, trying to get him to not go in the house. And, you know, he went on by his business, went on in the house. Y'all, he sees them leaving out the house. Excuse me. Jen is in the back, and she done almost got shot in the back. And I was like, girl, if you don't get out the door. Because whatever she had in her hand, it was a sword or something. She did have a sword at one point in time, but I don't remember that was in her bag. But she had some big, long harpoon or something. It might have been the sword. But anyway, she about to get shot in the back because that thing got hung up on something. I'm like, girl, if you don't get out this door. So anyway, she done got on out the door. And this man is really, like, you know, y'all know how Florida is. He was like, this is a stand your ground state. I'm standing my ground. And they all running across the yard. And Mac is driving a getaway van, and Melba, all of them running to get in the van. So then everybody else that went around back, you know, they all had to run across the grass and get in. This man shooting. He done shot Mac. Mac is dead, y'all. I'm sorry. He looked like he was dead as soon as the bullet hit him. But later on, they done rushed over to Dr. Ken's office trying to get him to, you know, do something for him. And he was like, there's nothing I can do. This man done died. Melba done sat up here and set it off. She crying, and it's just, oh gosh, y'all, it's too much. They were able to get all this, secure all this stuff, and within 24 hours, the guy from the triad was very pleased. I forgot what his name is. It was a doctor or something. Y'all, he done sat up here and he chumming it up with Dean at a mahjong table, of course, because he's being stupid and naive, because even though Desna is very overbearing and whatever else, but she really does live and love her brother. Live for and love her brother. And, you know, I understand being protective of him. So, y'all, this man at one point sent a picture of himself and Dean together. Dean is here for him. Y'all, I can't. This man is a clean OCD freak to the point of, after he killed Arlene, he wiped the blood off of his knife on her shirt and then proceeded to pull out a little travel-sized bottle of antibacterial stuff. I was just like, this hand sanitizer, sir, it's already been proven. I don't know how many years ago the hand sanitizer don't do nothing, so I don't know what you do all this for. Anyway, y'all, he is like, he was like, what? Flu season. It's flu season. Flu season is upon us. Y'all, he ain't here for none of that. Every time you look up, he did that at the mahjong table. He had a little bitty travel-sized bottle of some kind of disinfectant spray. I was like, you know what? I ain't even mad at him, because when I was in college, I used to do the same thing. I actually had a normal-sized bottle of Lysol and or Clorox spray, and I would spray off keyboards because I had papers to do and I didn't have time to get sick. And I was never sick at all when I was in school. I did everything. I came to school every single day except when Hurricane Katrina came and a lot of stuff got closed down, even though one of my teachers tried it. And she was just like, yeah, I'm not canceling class. And we was just like, girl, don't you know it's a hurricane outside? Like, what is wrong with you? So anyway, y'all, the most happened with that. And Quiet Ann has a feeling that something is wrong with Arlene. And Desna's lying to her. That's supposed to be like her best friend. And she was like, I can't keep lying to her. That's my best friend. I don't know what I'm going to do. They trying to cover it up. They don't want the man, the doctor, the whatever he is from the triad, he just set it off. And he wants to cover it up so bad that he just sat up there and went to Arlene's job and spoke to one of the people that would be the one who would, you know, be in contact with her if she were to show up, because he was thinking ahead. He was like, no, this heifer, she gonna sit up here, she gonna set it off, and she gonna roll up. I know she is. She did. She rolled up to Arlene's job and was like, what's going on with Arlene? What's going on? I ain't heard from her, and when I did hear from her, it didn't make no sense or whatever. And so she was like, oh, well, it was last minute. We had an undercover job she had to do and all this other stuff. And, you know, she was like, oh, well, congratulate. Like, she did everything she needed to do. She even mentioned the baby. She was like, Mazel Tov, congratulations on the baby. And then after Quiet Ann left, this heifer went on by her business, and she called the guy and was like, yeah, yeah, she did show up. She just left and all this other stuff. And I was just like, Lord, y'all, you have accounted for every little thing that's gonna possibly happen, sir. Like, this is too much. So yeah, she ain't buying it. And she's, despite that happening, she still didn't buy it. And she just sat up here and called Arlene. She was like, you need to call me back. I can't raise this baby alone. All this stuff. And then she was like, I went by your house. Your clothes and stuff are still there. So what's really going on? Like, she done went all the way off. Y'all, come to find out, Quiet Ann said it all the way off. After Desna had a terrible day, she done came home. She's covered in blood. She get on her couch and just wrap up. Quiet Ann in the corner was like, Desna, what's really going on? I want to know what's going on with my wife at. She said wife, and I was like, you done set it off, not wife. Yo, then she done dropped the bomb on all of us, and she really was her wife. She was like, yeah, with my wife. We went to the courthouse and made it official for the baby. And they actually were already married. They were they were already engaged. So it was like, wow, you done went off. Y'all, she finally fessed up and told her the truth. Y'all, and when Ann broke down, it took everything in me not to bust out crying, because I have seen this woman do other acting gigs. Now, I think that this might have been the first time that she really was bringing me to tears. She deserved her check for this episode. She was crying down. Y'all, she gonna kill herself. The baby gonna die. She already was holding her stomach like she was in her feelings, to the point of where, like, okay, she didn't know what was going on with her, and she had a really bad feeling about what was going on anyway. She might lose the baby and all this other stuff. One of my friends said, no, this is gonna make her stronger. The baby gonna be all right. I was like, I don't know now. She don't seem to, whatever right now, so I don't know what's gonna happen. Anyway, y'all, I gotta get out of here. And I hope y'all have a good one, and I'll talk with y'all later. Bye.